got my headphones on and I now have to, I'm obligated to talk to you now and
Yeah.
then smile at you, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
listen to you about your Saturday, which,
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, but sometimes I just want to just
You don't
lock
feel
in.
like
Like
it.
I want to be
Yeah.
in that flow state. Yeah. And then
Right.
I don't want it to be an issue because this time I didn't say, okay, I want to listen to your story, Susan, today about your dog or whatever it is.
All right, welcome back to the Computer Keys channel. I am Marquise, and today we're back with another episode of the My Tech Story interview series. This is something I started to show that there's a lot of different lanes you could get into under this tech umbrella. So today I got Adam with me. We met through the gram, as it seemed like a common thing for me now is like meeting people through Instagram, which I love. Being able to connect with people and everything. So I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I know you're in Texas, right?
Yep. Houston, Texas. And thanks for giving me the opportunity just to speak on your platforms. I appreciate that. And man, Instagram, it's an amazing platform. Like that's how I make a lot of money through Instagram sometimes, and I meet a lot of amazing people through Instagram. So Instagram's a great platform. But yeah, I'm based out of Houston, Texas, to be exact.
Got you. Yeah, we're gonna get into like where you from, how you ended up in Houston and everything like that. But yeah, Instagram itself, it's a lot of nonsense on there for sure. But like if you use it the right way, you can you can definitely use it to your advantage and get a lot of a lot of benefits out of it. So I'm glad we were able to connect. So I'm looking forward to getting into like your company and everything. I know we were supposed to have your partner Tony on too, but he's a little under the weather. So I'll probably do a separate one with him. But
sounds good.
Yeah. No, so we're gonna get into it. Let me get my notes real quick. All right. So to start off, I just want to get to know a little bit about you. So you don't have to remember everything I'm about to say, but so I want your name, age, location, hometown, race or ethnicity, and then fun fact about you or fun facts, and then like interests outside of tech or outside of what you do.
Gotcha. Okay, name Adam Wazo, location Houston, Texas, ethnicity Nigerian American, Igbo to be exact. It's a tribe within Nigeria. What's the other questions you asked? Dang. I think it was interest. I guess my hometown is Austin. I'm originally from Austin, Texas, but I moved out to Houston, Texas probably 2 years ago. About 2 years ago. Interests other than tech, fitness, of course, kind of just mindset stuff, always positive, motivational things. I love that stuff. I love pets. I got a dog and I have like fish as well. So I love pets.
Yeah, I'm big on my fitness journey too. I've been doing this for like, I guess we're coming up on 2 years now where I've been like consistently in the gym, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to take it more serious. So it's good to see other people on the same time. So you're from Texas in general. So what made you move from Austin to Houston 2 years ago?
I guess ultimately it was work at the time. I was kind of required to kind of move to, I guess, when COVID happened, everybody was kind of like remote, things like that. Yeah. I transitioned to a different position kind of in that time. So kind of one of the things in my offer letter was like live within like a couple of miles of the home office. And this home office is based in Louisiana. So I had to so Houston was like my middle point. So yeah, it was a great move. My family's kind of here. My sisters live here. My niece and my nephew live here. So it wasn't like I just moved to a city where no one was here. So.
Yeah, no, that's good. I've been to Dallas. That's the one time I came to Texas. We went to a Eagles game. I'm assuming you're probably a Cowboys fan, if you're even into football.
I'm into football a little bit. I'm actually an Eagles fan. Surprisingly,
really?
People would think I'd be a Cowboys fan or whatever.
Well,
I'm actually an Eagles fan for sure. So I respect on that. But this little yips that we got going on right now, this losing game, this losing streak, like I don't know what's going on, but I just need us to lock in. And
don't even get me started on that, yo. No,
I'm an Eagles fan.
That's cool. You don't meet too many Eagles fans from Texas. I'm from Philly, so it's kind of a given. You born here, But I know some people from
Hmm.
here that are like diehard Dallas fans. I'm like, y'all never even been out there. How you a Cowboys fan? Like, but nah, I fuck with that. I like that. All right, so yeah, you said interest outside of tech. You're into like you have pets and everything. Are you like
Hmm.
into like my younger sister? She wants to be a vet. Like she loves animals. So like, are you like heavily into animals, or is it just like my pets? That's what I like.
Probably like more so my pets. Really like I'm always intrigued with animals in general, just how they act in nature, of course. But my
Mm,
pets, I kind of like training my pets, and then like now I just got fish this year, so now I kind of have two aquariums that I'm trying to like learn
mm,
how to like take care of fish because it's a little easier than dogs, but it's also kind of hard as well. It's a lot of work.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. If you're we used to have fish when I was a kid. So if like your pH balance is off, or you got saltwater fish and freshwater and stuff like
mhm.
that, then they'll die super fast. So you
Quick,
definitely gotta be
quick,
careful with
yeah,
that.
that's
But
true.
a nice aquarium or like a nice fish tank definitely adds to a space or like a room or whatever. So yeah, I might
Hmm.
need pictures once you get that like set up and everything. I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
Um,
facts. I'd have to do that.
so last thing about this part. Oh, did you say your age? I don't know if I caught that.
Oh yeah, I'm actually 33. Yeah, I was born in
33. Okay.
1990. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, same age as my sister, my big sister.
Yep,
So you said you're Nigerian, Igbo, right?
yep, Ebo, yep.
So how, for one, how like in tune are you with your Nigerian heritage, and two, have you gone back to Nigeria at any points to like visit or kind of immerse yourself in the culture out there?
Yeah, great question. The last time I went was 2020. That's the last time I went. I typically go back like every 2 years or every other year. As I've gotten older, of course, when I was younger, the first time I actually went, I was 8 years old. Our parents took us out there. It wasn't really the best experience when I was eight, of course. It was definitely like I was young. It was a new place. A lot of things just were different there. So of course it wasn't the best experience there, but I went several times as I became older and kind of understand that it's just different across the world, regardless, no matter what country you're in. But
Mm,
then also just there's a lot of beauty in it. So finding the beauty in other places was kind of something that I learned to do as I got older. But now, of course, with technology, and that place is pretty. They have spots in there that everything's pretty modernized,
yeah.
so you can still live a nice modern life, kind of over there as well. So I guess the long story short, every 2 years I try to go, and as I get older, I just see myself going more and more, and also just helping grow the technology infrastructure over there as
Mm,
well, since that's kind of like the next generation of like the boom economy for really the whole world. Everyone's
yeah.
trying to invest into Africa, whether it be the Chinese or the different nations that you see them trying to go to Africa because that's kind of where the next boom is. They have over 50 million people under the age 25 in
Mm,
this one city called Lagos, Nigeria. Like just that one city, your whole population's 50 million people's under the age of 25 is like an incredible thing,
yeah.
incredible potential. So
Yeah, for sure. No, I love that. I love when people, it's very, for one, it's very much a privilege, I would say, to be in this country and know your heritage, to have something that you can kind of go back to and explore and everything. And
mhm.
two, you're the second person that I've talked to that has mentioned, or maybe the third, that has mentioned the potential of, the different countries in Africa that are, stumbling upon a technological boom in the near
Mhm.
future. So it's great to see that you talking about going back every 2 years and stuff like that. I love that because you're taking stuff that you got from this place, knowledge and experience that you've gained, and you're taking it back over there. And then to have 50 million people, if we get shit 1% of that, 10% of that that's actually interested in tech, it's going to go so
Yeah.
far out there. So I love
Yeah.
that. I love that
True.
a lot. There's one more thing I wanted to say about that before we get into your actual story. Oh, do you ever see yourself like moving out there for good? and then maybe visiting here every couple of years?
For good. That's a great question. I guess moving for good. I've always imagined in my life like to be to be able to kind of go from country to country. Because my dad, I guess,
Mm,
when he came to America, he was probably like in his mid 20s, mid to early 20s. So like
mm,
going to a whole country by himself, like at that age, like that's an incredible thing. And moving
for
there,
sure.
so I don't want to ever kind of limit myself on where I could live geographically, but I
Mm.
definitely see myself having like real estate, having like agricultural land over there, and developing enterprise over there for sure.
Damn. Oh, that's crazy. So later on, we're gonna get into your like your 10, 20 year plan and stuff like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more about that. But yeah, nah, I love shit like that, yo. I love that.
You know?
All right, so let's get into your actual tech story. So we're gonna start off with what do you do, for how long,
Mhm.
and if you feel comfortable with salary or like a salary range. Because I know some people can't really talk about it, so
Gotcha,
it's up to
gotcha.
you.
My ultimately my corporate gig, I operate as a Salesforce consultant,
Mm,
and really Salesforce is kind of an enterprise system, CRM system, ultimately that like most companies use it, from Apple to IBM to Google to Amex, some way in form and fashion. They probably use that system within their organization, and the way I kind of started in Salesforce ultimately, or I guess go back to your question, salary. Currently, I have total comp probably like around like 150 as a Salesforce
Sheesh.
consultant. So, but
Yeah.
I've been doing it. I've been doing Salesforce for like 8 years now, though.
Okay.
So, and I didn't even like study Salesforce in college. Like I did, of course, um, computer information systems. I initially started to do computer science, and then I was just I think it was the math thing for me. It was like math heavy. Like I'm good with
Yeah.
numbers, like with like money. You know what I mean? Count it up like that. But
Mm,
like the math part, it just really was kind of frustrating me, and then it was also just setting me back, like academically. Like I was trying to
mm,
excel, but like I can't like get to the classes and stuff that I need to do, that I was aspiring to do. So switching to the business school and going to CIS, computer information system, was kind of better for me, to the fact that I was able to get those some programming classes as well, but then dabble in like the marketing, the
mm.
management, the accounting, and kind of those classes as well. So it's like, okay, now I understand enterprise a little bit versus like heavy just computer and math.
Yeah.
But yeah, Salesforce consultant, started as Salesforce administrator, did Salesforce development, and then kind of now just operating as a consultant in a way. More a lot of business analyst stuff is kind of what I do for my day to day. I
Hmm.
kind of like um, meet with the business stakeholders, understand like the actual business problem, and then of course our underlying technology that we're going to be supporting is Salesforce. So I kind of know how the platform works. So I'm more so of spearheading. Getting the business process out, handing it off to the architect, so the architect can kind of put the technical solution together,
Hmm.
and then ultimately managing or either our onshore, nearshore team that's kind of doing that dev work.
That's cool. I was first introduced to Salesforce out of school. I did a coding boot camp. So it's like different
Mm-hmm.
paths you could take, I guess. So my path was more full stack Java, HTML, that type of stuff. But there was another
Nice.
path that dealt with like Salesforce and everything. So
Nice.
I have like a super high level understanding of Salesforce, but not too much
Mm-hmm.
about it. So
Mm-hmm.
to my understanding, I come to you as a business, and I need this type of CRM. For those that don't know, is a customer relationship model, something like that. Is that it?
Management, customer relationship
Management,
management. Yeah, I think
management,
customer
right?
relationship
Okay.
management system. Yeah.
So I come to you, I tell you my business needs, and then you build me something through Salesforce that
Mhm.
uh, supplies those needs, basically, or
Pretty
fulfills
much,
those
yeah.
needs. I should say. Yeah,
Yep,
got you.
exactly. It could be
So,
like something like it could just be something as simple as getting your business leads. Like, how does your business get their leads from like landing
mm,
pages throughout the web, or it could just be through. a data dump. You can just buy data.
Mm,
You can buy data from all these places, or you can connect through a third party data source, and you can feed the leads in. Your sales reps will
mm,
qualify those leads, whether it be emailing them out some material or calling on them. You can kind of manage all that through Salesforce to help sales rep productivity, as well as just for the CEOs and the high level people. They can see these KPIs and really just move the business by just looking at those numbers ultimately.
mm. Nah, that's pretty cool. So, quick question off of this. You said you've been doing that for 8 years. So, that
Yep.
will put you around 25. So, what were you doing before that?
I was at Texas State school wise, but I was doing more so tech support actually. I worked for
Okay.
this company called Telenetwork in San Marcos, Texas. We did like tech support for, I think I started out actually doing like internet tech support. So
Mm,
pretty much basic troubleshooting on desktop support, kind of basic networking and things like that. So I kind of had that
hmm.
skill set as well. And then we started. This is actually how me and my business partner Tony actually really got a lot of camaraderie when we worked at that company together. We worked with
Mm.
Google Glass. I don't know if you remember Google Glass. That was kind of like
Yes.
the Meta Ray Bans before Meta
Oh,
like came
right.
out with the Meta Ray
Yeah.
Bans. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we were doing support for that, so technical support for that. So people like had those and like maybe they needed help on them. We would like ultimately troubleshoot that. So that was like honestly one of the best jobs ever because we ultimately
Really?
had the technology. So we were like beta testers, really. They called it like
Oh,
an
I see.
explorer
I see.
program. So like they
Yeah.
gave us like the glasses. So we were like messing around with them and doing things with them. And then like the people that they gave access to them, we were just like troubleshooting, tech support, and telling them about the new stuff that came out about it. So it was pretty
Got
cool,
you.
honestly.
So, how long were you doing that?
I think we did that probably for about a year, maybe 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. And I think they ended up, Google ended up like stopping like that program, like it kind
Hmm.
of phased off. I think I started doing more like internet support with like Google Fiber. I was still like in that company. I was doing more with Google Fiber. And then I think I graduated and then got a job at this pharmaceutical startup as an IT manager. And then I kind of started. That's when I found out about Salesforce at that company because they were using
Mm.
Salesforce for like an amazing like platform they built kind of in the pharmaceutical consignment market in a way. So they were able to use Salesforce for an e-commerce platform. So
Right.
within hospitals, I guess they have like their pharmacy. They have like different little refrigerators in there. Um, there's like RFID tags on like the particular medicines that were in those fridge. So once they were
Mm.
taken out, it would actually track it back to our inventory within
Oh,
Salesforce, and then
wow.
like automatic bills. So it was like some sophisticated stuff. Like now that I look back
Damn.
on it, I was like, man, that was like an incredible thing we built off the top of Salesforce. And then, of course, like some other custom like we built like a custom website on this tool called Webflow. I don't know if you heard of Webflow. It's like
Yeah.
a low code like website tool. So like that's
Hmm.
kind of I was using Webflow heavy then. So like we like built like a nice custom landing page and integrated it with Salesforce. It was like a pretty cool custom experience, kind of for
Mm.
hospitals and pharmaceutical people. They don't really have like nice tech yet, at least back then. That
Yeah.
was like 2016, 2015-ish, back when we were doing that. So they definitely didn't have like healthcare tech and things like that. So now it's
Hmm.
more so that stuff like that's coming out. So
Man, that's pretty cool. It
mm,
sounds like I don't want to get into your school just yet, like your schooling, but it sounds like you were
mm,
doing the technical support while you were in school. So you were getting that
exactly.
experience early. So you graduated, and you go into this other job, and then that introduces you into Salesforce. So let me see. Do I
Mm,
want to get into that? Yeah. So you're introduced into Salesforce. Are you
mm.
teaching yourself Salesforce? Are you taking some courses? Like how did that transition happen? And then how did you leverage that into getting the job that you have now?
Great question. I think more so, I was teaching myself Salesforce for sure. I was doing like they have this little community called the Trailblazer community. And
That sounds
then
familiar.
you can also do like different little trailheads. So it's kind of like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
guided step by step, like little. They're kind of very to me. They're very easy tutorials. So I was doing those
yeah.
and just like getting a bunch of like badges and stuff like on their little community. And then I kind of just that taught me the capabilities of the platform, but I kind of needed more like hands on. Like okay, I need to like build something. I really don't like know what Salesforce can do. So that's kind of when I think I stumbled upon like Udemy, kind of just bought some courses and stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then also just found a bunch of YouTube videos. Always YouTube videos are always with an Indian guy dropping gems, like just dropping gems.
Yeah.
Like you might have to watch it like 500 times because you may not understand, but like I promise you, they're
You know what
dropping
they
gems.
talking
So
about
like,
for sure.
yeah, they're dropping gems. So a lot of YouTube University, just videos after videos, and then like Salesforce. The good thing about that is they give you that developer org, so you can just sign up for
Mm-hmm.
Salesforce and create like a little org, and you can start building and doing things with Salesforce like for free. So there's like no barrier of entry at all versus like other things you may have. There may be like proprietary softwares
Yeah,
that you can't really get access to it like that. But Salesforce is more so they want you to do. They want developers. They want people to come build on their
yeah,
platform and learn how to administer their platform. Which is one thing I love about Salesforce is that's why I think Salesforce is honestly the easiest way to get into tech and make like six figures
mm,
because you don't even have to know how to code. So there's Salesforce has like declarative developer tools within there, which they call like screen flows and different flows that
mm-hmm.
is doing the programmatic nature. You do kind of have to understand like logic, you know what I mean? Like how programming works and the
Right,
capabilities and the restrictions of Salesforce.
right,
But you don't have to write a line of code and then you can do amazing things for the business. You can actually see the money you're saving the business. You can see the money you're helping the business generate. So you can see
mm,
the real impact on the business that you're doing, and you don't have to write any code really. But if you can write
right.
code now, that's a
Mhm.
little bit it's a little bit better. You can do a lot more things with Salesforce at that point. So.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you said that the way you did. Because Salesforce isn't even something when I'm people reaching out to me. You know, how can I get into tech stuff like that? Salesforce doesn't even cross my mind. It's crazy you brought up like the Trailblazer and the Trailhead stuff because I was doing that for a little bit. There was a time where
Mhm,
I had like this little freelance project, and I thought maybe Salesforce will work for this. So I
mhm,
started doing that. I was doing the different courses and everything. And yeah, I can definitely see that being somebody's entry level, their way into
mhm.
tech. I'm so happy you brought that up. So
Yeah,
later on,
yeah.
we're going to get into not only your schooling, but like what you do to gain knowledge. And you mentioned some
Mhm,
good stuff, Udemy, YouTube, of course. Um,
mhm,
but then those specific uh, what's the tools, I guess, something like a Salesforce or something like a Oracle where they provide you stuff that you can use to learn their specific thing. I'm so happy you brought
mhm,
that up. So yeah, we're gonna
mhm,
get more into that later on. Um, so we got into your what you do for how long you do what you do now for 8 years. Before that, you were into the tech support
mhm.
and working with a pharmaceutical company. So all right, so next I want to get into what or who first got you interested in tech? Like, how did that come about?
Honestly, I always say my first step into tech was like when we were like on MySpace and we were coding up the
Mm.
layouts because I always had the freshest layout and I was building mine from scratch. Like I would
Mm.
take the templates, go to the template websites and like, okay, I like this. And I would just look at the HTML code and like just fix it
Damn.
up. You know what I mean? So that was
Yeah,
the forefront of tech, honestly, for me. But then more so it's like video games, like that was like
man.
tech for me as well. I'm a big
Yeah.
gamer. I used to like take apart my hardware and put it back together. So I always liked hardware, software. Now I'm more software, of
Mm.
course, and trying to get more
Mhm.
AI. But when I started, I liked hardware. I liked those old tower computers. I knew how to fix them and things like that. So
Yeah.
I definitely like that part in the beginning for sure of tech.
So you were teaching yourself this stuff? Because my dad put me onto like the the hardware parts and all that type of stuff. But you were teaching yourself.
Yeah, it's more so like breaking things. Really, like
Yeah.
we had a computer. I would just take it apart, and then I like, okay, well, let me just put it back together. Or I would,
Mm,
I'm very into watching videos, like going into my
mm,
room, watch a YouTube video, and or some sort of video of somebody doing it, and then just kind of piecing it back together. I do remember like when I was in elementary school, where we did science fairs and things like that, I would always buy, I mean, not science fair, book fairs. I would always buy like those science lab kits and things that you had to put things
mm,
together. I
yeah.
was a Lego guy, like so, like I was always knew I was like a builder and things like that. So,
So as a kid, this keeps coming up in every single interview I do. There's a level of curiosity, inquisitive spirit type of like, how does this thing work? How can I make this do this? Stuff like that. So
mhm.
I love that so much. So you just had that naturally as a kid.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
I think
don't
I've
think
always kind of had it.
I think you're the second person that mentioned like MySpace too, which is funny because I never even really used MySpace like that. But I know you can like customize, the HTML and stuff like that for your page. So
Hmm.
to teach yourself pretty much HTML and be like, okay, this tag corresponds with this part. So I like this part. So let me just take that and add it to my template, my custom thing that I'm making
Hmm.
myself. I love shit like that. So
Yeah.
let me see. It sounds like something along these lines was always going to be what you decided to do. So like, when did you decide? I know you ended up not going exactly with computer science, but when did you decide that I'm going to do something with computers?
Computers when I decide. I feel like it's whenever I figured out that okay, bro, you're not gonna play no professional sports, man, or nothing like that. You're gonna go go ahead and do something that you like. You know, you can always, and also
Yeah.
something that is going to give you some autonomy. Because I knew people in IT, and I saw, okay, well, you guys kind of can stay to yourself. You guys are always kind of needed in a way, but then also you guys
Yeah.
have a level of autonomy that I kind of like. So
Mhm.
I kind of like that for sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I love it. Yeah. Once the little running back football dreams wore off, I'm like, all right, I've always been good at computers. Let me see what's up. uh,
Yeah, yeah.
so my next question was tech your original plan? So it sounds like what sport? What was your sport?
My sport is actually basketball. Like I wasn't
Basketball.
like I like basketball, but like I wasn't like okay, I wasn't gonna make it. You know, I feel like everyone might have like a dream, like okay, like
Yeah,
I'm gonna play
for
college
sure.
ball or something. Like,
Yeah.
and really, I guess basketball was really one of the things that I kind of, I guess, really liked that I actually said, okay, well, let me put in extra work in. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then like with like technology and entrepreneurship, it's like okay, now let me put in that extra work in. It's kind of like that thing. So even though like I probably knew I wasn't gonna make it, my dad was like gonna tell me I wasn't gonna make it, and I knew I didn't even have the skill set to. I was only six foot
Yeah.
two, and I was playing like the post, so like I
Mm.
was playing like Shaq
Yeah.
at 6'2", but I'm supposed to be shooting like Curry, so like
Right.
it's a little tough there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's more so. I think it's always gonna. I knew I was gonna do something within business and technology, just because
Mm.
it was always like my passion.
That's cool. So I'm glad you brought up the business part because before we get into okay, yeah, before we get into your school and everything, I do want to double back and talk about your business. So, is it pronounced Apper?
Yep, yep. Apper Designs.
Apper.
The parent company is actually Apper Holdings, and then we have Apper Designs within Apper Holdings, and then something
Hmm.
new that we kind of started coming out with. As you can see in the shirt, in Black Tech We Trust.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
more so like our community effort to kind of get people into technology, and then also to get like people like us kind of building technology infrastructure, whether that be um, like some SaaS product that is owned by Black people, some technology infrastructure product like an
Hmm.
AWS, you know what I mean? That's owned like a data center, like that's owned by a Black person or something like that. It's really more so things like that, and also highlighting the amazing things that Black people invent and do day after day. So that's really
Mm.
kind of something that this is supposed to be behind the shirt.
So when did if Tony was able to join, we would have probably gotten both of y'all perspectives on it. But like, when did
Mhm.
y'all start that, and where did the idea come from?
Gotcha. I guess the idea kind of came from when we worked back kind of in tech support. We
Mm-hmm.
knew that we're like, man, we can create things and like just at the end of the day, just support it. Cause that's kind of really what it is like a service or a
Yeah.
product that's created and brought to the market. Then it's a good idea or it's a needed product or service. And at the end of the day, you just kind of have to support it. And then so we kind of
Mm-hmm.
always kind of been intrigued at how businesses worked. So we kind of thought of that at first. We made Apperr because we knew that most everything's in the world we're going to run off of apps, whether it be a mobile app or whether it be even like most websites. They're not just
Yeah.
like websites; they're apps, they're web
Right.
applications.
Right.
Even now in AI, these AI apps, like they're all applications at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it was apps, and then also back in that time we were using a lot of low code technology, low code to no code. So we were always building apps faster than our competitors.
Mm.
So we just word played Apper and faster together, and then app and
I
faster
see.
together, and then we made
Yeah.
Apper. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
ultimately what we do.
I like that. So again, like later on, we'll see where you see that going. But I would imagine eventually the goal is to go full force with Apper and just pretty much work for yourself.
Yep. Yeah, definitely that. Definitely the goal is ultimately to build a sustainable business that can
Hmm.
employ a small team, of course, consistently and be sustainable.
Right.
Of course, and also we want to put out amazing technology products. All right, that's another
Mm.
thing that we want to do within the company. We don't just want to just make money and just throw out stuff. We want our stuff to be quality. So that's something that we're kind of focusing on, building quality products that people need. And ultimately, it's really not just about like I want to be an entrepreneur. Some people say they want to be an entrepreneur all the time and just want to be full in it. But
Yeah.
we went to Invest Fest. I don't know in Atlanta this year. This is guy named Jamal King. He calls himself the 9 to 5 millionaire.
Mm.
He made his $1 million doing like real estate, and he also was a police chief. I thought,
Mm.
or something in the police department, or maybe it's the police or fire department. I don't want to misspeak, but something in like
Mm.
the public service department. And he was also getting into real estate. So he said he didn't even quit his job until he was a millionaire. You know what I mean? He
Mm.
worked a 9 to 5, made had $1 million, and then like he's like, okay, well now I'll quit my job and whatever. And now he just does speaking or does real estate full time and things like that. So mine more so is the end goal, of course, is to have that freedom for yourself, create that own enterprise for yourself. But I want to be something like that more so like, okay, well, I can still do a corporate gig and run a
Yeah.
successful, you know what I mean, business on the
Yes.
side. So then it's like why can't you do both? If you can do both, and then also it's something that my parents always taught us to go to. Well, Nigerian parents are always going to tell you to go to school to be a
Mm.
doctor, a lawyer, or something that's going to give you a high paying job, because the high paying job is ultimately your leverage to get your money to kind of do what you want, save and invest
Yeah.
it, and now you can actually do what you want, retire early, or go be an entrepreneur, or whatever it is. So.
Hmm. Yeah. I was going to ask about the having immigrant parents, what that's like. But I think I'm gonna get into that when we get into your schooling. So
Mm,
yeah, what you said about like the 9 to 5 thing, that's kind of where I'm at now. Like I have this, I also make music, but
mm,
I'm funding this stuff through my 9 to 5, and eventually, obviously the goal is for these things to generate their own money or whatever. But
yeah,
what I see a lot is people will say, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start a business. I'm gonna start a business, and they just go all in, and then they
mm,
crash and burn because they didn't build that foundation first. So I
yeah.
definitely think it's a good idea to go about it the way you are. I love that. Um, so how long have y'all been in business with Apper?
With Apper, we actually have been in business since 2020, like officially
Mm,
as an LLC.
mm,
In college, of course, we had like the idea, we had the DBA, we did like the college business plan competition and like
mm.
won and did things like that. And
Oh
then it was
wow.
kind of like we had like some, and we changed the business so many different ways too. Like back then, like I said, we were building things fast because we weren't really owning the whole tech stack. Maybe we were just
Hmm.
kind of be able to build something and get it out to someone. So we definitely more so now focus on understanding building an efficient tech stack and then really trying to have as much ownership in that tech stack as we
Yeah,
can and really
yeah.
and really looking at the source code versus just being a reseller and selling people's things. So that's kind of one big pivot that we've done within the company of Apper. um, but yeah, I guess back to, I guess I forgot your main question there, but really just we wanted to focus on owning that tech stack within
Mm.
Apper. So
No, you answered it. The question was, how long have y'all been doing it? But I like hearing that too. That
okay, yeah,
over
oh yeah,
time, stuff
yeah.
stuff is going to evolve and progress and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
So yeah, 2016 is probably when the idea of Apper came up, and it was called Apper Mobile Solutions back then when we first started,
Mm,
because we just focused on mobile apps. So we were just
mm,
like doing iOS and Android apps, trying to do those. But now we pivoted on to Apper Designs, and then do a lot more web projects, surprisingly, and then now moving into actually building out people's SaaS products for them, whether it be a
mm,
micro SaaS or maybe it's a complete bigger SaaS, like a healthcare kind of teledoc kind of thing.
mm.
So that's kind of more so the vision that we're trying to move the company to.
I'm gonna have to connect you with this other guy I was talking to. He um he's been in like the AI space and helping people automate, certain business needs and stuff like that. I think if y'all join forces, that shit would be crazy. Like however y'all can
Hey,
collaborate with her, I think that would be great. So
you got to do
yeah,
that.
for sure. I'm gonna have to connect you. Let me see where we at. All right, no, that's a good little segue. So to start something like this in school is pretty crazy. That to have that foresight or whatever to I want to start a business. I want to solve these business needs and stuff like that. That's crazy. So where did you? I'm gonna get into how that came about, but first, where did you go to school? Um,
Mhm.
and then you said you study computer information. What is it? Systems. Yeah.
Systems. Yep,
So
yep. So
yeah.
I went to Texas State, studied computer information systems, and then now I currently enrolled in Georgia Tech and studying
Mm.
cybersecurity.
Oh wow. So
Yeah, so I'm trying to get my master's in cybersecurity. I did my undergrad in Texas State, San Marcos, Texas State, and then
got you.
Georgia Tech. Now it's my master's. Yep.
Yeah, that's what's up. So earlier you mentioned how like the math part of it kind of swayed you more into CIS, which is funny because
Yeah.
the thought of taking calc almost made me not do computer science, but I ended up doing it anyway. And I do a major, so I had
Yeah.
computer science and computer security. So
Okay.
a couple questions off of that. Um, I guess my main question is why computer security for your masters? Where do you see that going? And
Hmm.
actually, yeah, no, that's my question right now.
Cybersecurity.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Cybersecurity for the masters. Ultimately, it's kind of the next wave. I feel like, of course, cybersecurity. Everything's more technical.
Hmm.
Everything's getting hacked now.
Yeah.
So cybersecurity is needed. Also, kind of within my role, corporate role, I can see the benefits of having a master's cybersecurity in the
Yeah.
master's. I can easily see the benefits there. But then also for my own personal business, I see the
Yeah.
benefit there as well, as we're building like these tech products, these SaaS products, these mobile apps, these websites. We need to build them securely. So we
Hmm.
have to understand the correct frameworks, whether it be the NIST cybersecurity framework or whatever
Right.
framework that we want to implement. We kind of need to be the knowledge leaders on that as well. So I feel like that's something that we need to learn, and getting the masters is a great way of doing it.
Yeah. That's what I figured. I just wanted to confirm pretty much, but yeah, no, it makes sense. I can definitely see the benefit in your business of having that client facing, we can build, something to solve your business needs, but also we know that we're compliant. We know that your stuff will be
Mm-hmm.
secure, your data, all of that type of stuff. Because like you said, everything is getting hacked now. You hear about new stuff. I don't want to say it like monthly, but every year something major happens. There was the
Yeah.
R4J thing, maybe 3-4 years ago. So like, there's a lot of little things that, and with security is always evolving. People are always breaking stuff, so there's always something to learn with that. So I love that you are not only taking that step, but you're looking at how that can be beneficial to your career. Your 9 to 5 plus your business. I think a lot of time people might just pick something just to pick it, and they don't really have a real
Mm-hmm.
plan for what they're going to do with it. So I love
Mm-hmm.
seeing stuff like that. So during school though, you were doing the IT work and you started a business, or you had the foresight or the idea to start a business. At what point did
Mm-hmm.
you start working? Was that junior year? Was that senior year? Like when did all that come about?
Just the actual work was probably like junior year because I feel like I've always worked through college. The tech support actually was like sophomore junior year because I had that job pretty long time. I just switched roles within the
Mm,
company a lot. I tend to do that sometimes. Like some people go from company to company. I more so would just stay in that same company and
yeah,
just kind of change
yeah,
roles
smart.
in a
That's
way.
smart.
Yeah. So I ended up doing that. But about junior, senior year, I was doing more of like the Google Glass kind of work in tech support.
So you came out of school with some experience already. That is like
Yeah, it was
that's
it was good. It
priceless.
was good doing that. Yeah, it was definitely
Yeah,
good doing that because people were also like getting like different internships, and I feel
yeah,
like I wasn't getting those. Like I wasn't like getting to get the internship with Dell or Apple or
hmm,
Goldman or kind of JP Morgan, whatever, like those big companies. Like I wasn't getting those, but like I was just working. I was always working and I had like experience and hands-on experience then. So
yeah,
then that's kind of when I was able to just go right after college. I kind of just went to go work for a startup, like pharmaceutical
mm.
startup in Austin. So that was my path.
You did a lot of stuff right, and I'm thinking about your college experience and comparing it to mine, where I was working, but I was working at like Target, I was working at Cinemark, the movie theater, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
In hindsight, I should have done something like that, something to get my feet in the door, just to see how the corporate world would work, stuff like that. Because, like I said, I went out of school and then I did a boot camp because I didn't feel prepared to go into the workforce. But you
Mhm.
having that experience early, coming out of school with a year, 2 years under your belt already, is going to
Mhm.
propel you so much farther. So, like, yeah, like, all right, I guess this is a good little segue into my next question, which is um, being Nigerian. Do you feel like your parents, um, their input or their influence, I guess, swayed you in one way or another? Because it seems like you were always, as a kid, you're inquisitive, you're curious, you're trying these different things. Going into school,
Mhm.
you're not only in school, but you're working a real job. A job that people would probably do as a career. So like, how did that Nigerian or that immigrant influence? What impact did that have when you with your decisions and everything?
Yeah, it definitely it has some impact on there for sure. The I can speak for like just Nigerian household. They're gonna tell you, like I said, be a doctor,
Mm,
lawyer, engineer, something like that. I knew couldn't be a doctor just because I don't have like doctors have like that academic endurance. Like
mm. Yeah, they
I
need to
kind of
sit
didn't really.
forever.
I wasn't really successful. I wasn't successful in school really. Like I did good in some classes, and I like if it really wasn't interesting to me, like I'm probably not going to be good in that class. You know what I mean? But
Mm,
like doctors, regardless, like they're gonna put that academic endurance on, and they're gonna like try to ace every class, and
yeah,
they can go to school for 4 years and then go do another 4 years of residency. Like me, I'm like okay,
yeah,
like what can I learn real quick, and like how can I like get the money for this? You know what I mean? So I knew it
Yeah.
was an engineering path is what I would have to be and go.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where I went to computer science, and then I was struggling because even with engineers, I feel like I have to have a level of at least academic engineers have to have a level of endurance as well, like the
Yeah.
whole math thing. I was like, okay, discrete math, like I don't see the benefit here, like calculus, like in calculus, I kind of see some benefits now that I got a little older and look at the markets and things like that and see how
Yeah.
advanced math really works now. But like at that point, I'm like in the thick of it, just struggling through
Yeah.
C plus plus. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the street math. I was just struggling all together. So changing to the business school and going to computer information system, I can just see how computers are beneficial to business. You know what I mean? So I could
Mm.
actually see the real world application there. So okay, well, you need more servers, or you need the more websites, or you need to automate this, or you need a like an interface to take orders, or you know what I mean, like something like that.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where I saw a lot of benefits for computers versus at least in Texas State's computer science department. So
So at what point did you switch? Was it junior year, no, my fault, freshman year,
It
sophomore
was, it was
year,
my
like
it was my sophomore year. Yeah, it was my
sophomore year?
sophomore year. I did like my freshman year. Actually, I did my freshman year. Struggled through it. Sophomore year, struggled through it again, and then that's why I was like, okay, well, I got to get out of here because I'm about to like fail out of the school. You know what I mean? Like I need
Yeah.
to like see what I kind of want to do, kind of hit that inflection point. Like that was kind of a lot of my struggles too, and reasons why I was working because I was
Hmm.
like paying for school as well. Like I wasn't
Oh,
like on like scholarships or nothing like that. I was barely even
you was
able to get
paying.
financial aid because like I wasn't able to pass. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't interested in whatever class I was in. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that was really the big struggle in it. But if I would have kind of like knew like okay, computer information systems, you can just learn how data relation works, learn about databases, learn how computer systems benefit business, even like
Hmm.
statistics. Like I like stats and quadratics, and then like that part was all my interest. You know what I mean? So I just wish I
Damn.
would have started there. I would have saved a lot of time and money.
Damn. So, damn. All right. I like hearing shit like that because, for one, it's like to understand that something is not for you is a very humbling experience for one, but also I
Mhm.
think it shows a level of maturity. I would say because you could have been one of those people that's like, I'm just going to stick with it, and then whatever happens, happens. I'll try to make it work, or if I got to do 6 years or whatever, I'll do that. But
Mhm.
instead, you notice early on, like, I like computers, but I don't like this version of what I'm doing, which is why I love doing these
Mhm.
interviews because it shows like I did computer science, I did the math and stuff like that, but everybody's path is going to be different. So
Mhm.
you realizing that early enough to make that change. Granted, I'm sure you probably spent more money than you wanted to and everything, but like
Oh
to
yeah.
to be at a young age and realize, okay, this is not for me. Let me figure out what is for
Mhm.
me, and then you found that thing. Like that's commendable for sure. A lot of people. I've heard stories of people graduating with. I know people that done it. Graduate with a completely different degree than what they're doing now. Stuck
Yeah.
with a degree because they waited too long and it didn't make sense to switch. Stuck with a degree
Yeah.
because outside people were telling them that that's what they should stay with. So it takes a
Yeah.
level of you know understanding of yourself, understanding of the world around you, and how your skills and the stuff that you're learning can be applied to what you actually want to do later, to the way you see the trends that you see happening and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I love shit like that, yo, because it really
Yep.
speaks to
Yep.
like character. I think like it really shows character. I would say that's probably the best way for me to put it. Um, so yeah, outside of that, the last part of the school stuff is you mentioned earlier what you use to learn Salesforce. So like now,
Mhm.
when you want to learn something new outside of getting your master's, what do you do? I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're still on YouTube and everything, but like what do you do to learn
Oh
stuff
yeah.
now?
Definitely YouTube. Still YouTube. YouTube is like undefeatable. And
Facts,
then
yeah.
like Reddit. I'm in Reddit a lot to learn a lot of
Hmm.
things. Just anything you see, you'll find
Yeah.
a community.
Hmm.
Um, what else is there? Definitely like Chat GPT and like Watson
Hmm.
X. I use a little bit of both. So AI. I definitely leverage AI to kind of learn. And then also, I feel like another thing that helps me learn, or really just understand things better is like teaching it to people, like trying to like
Yo,
teach what I know to teach
yes,
people, and then it kind of helps me reinforce kind of whatever the concept is.
yeah, yeah. You're the first person that mentioned that, but I've realized and I've noticed that like if I can explain something to somebody, then it helps me, double down on my understanding. I do want to ask you
Hmm.
though, having Tony as a partner, given that y'all, I'm assuming y'all went to the same school, right?
Yep, yep. Same school,
So
same high
y'all went to the
school, and
same.
same college.
Oh wow, same high school,
Yep,
same college, worked the same job.
yep,
So you have a
yep,
pretty, it's like it's like let's say ball, basketball. Having somebody
yeah,
that you've been through every level with, y'all know each other. You know where he at. You dishing off shit. You
yeah,
don't even gotta see him.
yeah,
He know where you at. He
yeah,
throwing a oop. He not even looking.
yeah,
So like,
yeah,
what's it
yeah.
like having somebody a partner that you can throw ideas off of, and that you're pretty equally yoked when it comes to that. Like, what's that like?
It's a great experience. Like it's a perfect harmonious partnership. Honestly, like
Mm.
that picture of like D Wade and LeBron,
Yeah.
like throwing LeBron the hoop like that. Like that's like the pinnacle of like
Yeah.
our like friendship and relationship. Like it's
Yeah.
just like that. Honestly, it's very good. Especially I'm super not super technical, but I'm way more technical than he is. He's very
Mm.
more. Like client facing. Like he can be
Mm.
technical as well and demos things, but he's very
Yeah.
like he can be a client facing person, and I can kind of just be in the back, have the fro, mad scientist kind of thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's definitely a great like camaraderie we have together.
Yeah. Nah, that's a nice perfect balance. I think you need that because you can't have both of y'all trying to be the face or like let me talk to the client. Let me talk. It's like no, you play
Yep.
your part, he plays his part, and y'all work off each other perfectly. I
Yep.
love that. I love
Yep.
that so much.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing his interview, and then I still want to do something with both of y'all together just to get that experience. I
Yep.
think,
Yep.
but
For
no,
sure. We're
I
definitely
love
down
that.
for that.
So, all right, this next question is I probably consider my favorite question, but as a Nigerian American man in this country, what has your experience been like through whatever you want to get into, but through school, through starting your business, through your
Mm,
professional career? What has that been like being a black man?
mm, it's a great question. Um, honestly, I could say it's been a positive experience. Like I feel like I've being in tech, I've liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish there was more like people like us like in doing tech. Like it'd
Yeah.
be a lot better just because even when I go to work, I guess we talk heavily about what code switching or whatever it is. It's just when I go to
Mm-hmm.
work, it's like more so let's work. But like me and Tony, like when we have Apper, like it's more so we working, but like it's like what I mean, we was broy, we can be ourselves a little
Yeah.
bit more than like we
Yeah.
have to worry about like okay, well we don't want to piss off anybody in the
Mm-hmm.
corporate politics or anything like that. So that's one thing, especially like I think as a black man, we more so have to be extra, quote unquote. I don't want to say soft, or we don't want to have to do.
Yeah.
We just have to be a lot nicer. I feel like
Yeah.
in corporate America because we already, whether we're bigger or whatever it is, we can be seen as a threat, or whether we're just smarter or something, maybe in a
Mm.
thing, we can be seen as a threat. So it's really more so of finding that balance always.
Yeah.
But I still would say my experience is a positive experience because I just know how tech has changed my life.
Hmm.
and then also how it's going to change a lot more people's lives like us just by me spreading the knowledge and trying to help people get into tech as well. So
Yeah.
that's really the my experience on it. I still would say it's positive.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, overall, I would say my experience has been positive. You know, you have those little things that you deal with, little microaggressions and stuff like that, but overall, I would say the
Mm,
same. Um, so you mentioned a couple of things I want to double back on. Having Tony
mm,
kind of reminds me of the fulfillment I get out of doing these. So in
mm,
my office, I'm one of, you know, in my vicinity is me, and then there's one other black boy I can see now. So I've built a little rapport with him and everything. But
yeah,
there's nobody on my team where I can just like we code and we just bullshit and we build, we talk about ball, we talk about shit like that.
yeah,
Um, which is something I see. Well, a lot of the Indian people I work with, they'll talk to each other in their language. They'll have
yeah.
cultural similarities that we just don't have.
Oh
So
yeah,
no matter how much
yeah,
I can relate to them, talk to them,
yeah,
bust it up with them or whatever, it's never going to be the same way I would
mm,
be able to talk to you or somebody like me,
yeah,
somebody from where I'm from in Philly and shit like that. So
yeah.
do you feel like having your business with your partnership with Tony gives you that thing that you might be missing from your 9 to 5, like that fulfillment that you might miss from there?
Oh yeah, most definitely. It definitely does. Even to the stuff that we do within the company, like we travel to Afrotech. You know what I mean?
Mm,
We travel to Invest Fest, so we're going to these like
yeah,
black conferences. Now we're going to
yeah,
these places where our people are at, and then we go to the seminars, we learn, we go to the workshops, we learn, we see Robert F. Smith, we see Diddy, whatever. We get kind of get motivation. We network with people like us, but then we can
mm,
also like go have fun. We can go out, have
yeah,
fun. We can also, and really with kind of the black culture, it's kind of like we could talk about sports, we could talk about hip
right,
hop or kind of whatever.
right,
Like all that stuff kind of comes into our life because it's a part of our lives. Honestly,
right, yeah, yeah. I figured that like once you mentioned him, I'm like, yeah, I could see that being uh, a nice little change of pace when I don't want to say work is stuffy or nothing like that, but like you said, you got to be a little. Even now, I consider myself no longer really code switching as much. I'll cut back on certain slang and stuff like that because I don't want people to be confused. But um, at this at this point in my career, I'm trying to do more of like they're gonna take me as I am. If I want to sit back and
yeah,
code with my hoodie up and stuff like that,
yeah,
that's how they're gonna take
yeah,
me. But having
yeah,
somebody there where you can, you know, just that cultural similarity, I feel like nothing beats that. So that's why I figured once you mentioned him, I'm like, yeah, I could definitely see that being like a yeah, like that fulfillment that you might miss in work you get from there. So you also touched on having to move a certain way, especially you know you said you're 6'2", so as a larger black man, I get talked about if I'm naturally my face is really kind of like this. I don't always look the most
yeah,
approachable,
yeah,
and I'm not 6'2". I'm like 5'8",
yeah,
something like that. So
yeah,
if I can be perceived that way, I can only imagine
yeah,
how being larger might have like you said, you might have to move in a way that makes people more comfortable. I think that's the word. And
yeah,
so
yeah. Exactly, exactly.
having to having to I don't know the best way to put it, but I kind of stopped putting myself in a position where I felt like I need to make them comfortable with my presence.
Mm,
Like me being
yeah,
here shouldn't make you uncomfortable. Me talking how I
true.
talk, me not always having a smile on my face, or
Yeah,
I have a guy at my job where when I first started, he would, let's say I walked in this hoodie, he would say,
yeah,
or something brighter than this. Like I have a pink hoodie, I have a pink shirt I might wear. He would say something like,
yeah,
about me being in the lighter colors and stuff like that. And it's not like
yeah,
necessarily a terrible thing, but it's
yeah,
like why does me being in lighter colors make you feel more comfortable? And I had to say this
Yeah.
to him, not those words, but like we had a conversation.
Yeah.
Now he no longer really mentions that stuff now, but like, having to move a certain way to make other people more comfortable about your presence, I think that's
Yeah.
probably like one of the shittiest things I would say about this. So, in your experience, how have you felt that? Like, how have you felt like you've had to, act a certain way or move a certain way to make other people more comfortable?
Yeah, definitely with the like you mentioned, like maybe not you walking in and you got a frown on your face or scowl. Like I'm one to smile. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if I see someone, I'm like I'm a smile at them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's even if I don't want to. Like I'm always doing that. I feel like in my
Yeah.
head. So that's one of the reasons why I love when COVID happened and remote work started. You know what I mean? Because like I don't have to be in the office and like somebody
Right.
walks by me and like I got my headphones on and I now have to. I'm obligated to talk to you now and then
Yeah.
smile at you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
listen to you about your Saturday, which you know what I
Yeah.
mean, it's cool. But sometimes I just want to just
You don't
lock
feel
in.
like
Like I
it.
want to be
Yeah.
in that flow state. Yeah, and then
Right.
I don't want it to be an issue because this time I didn't say, okay, I want to
Mm.
listen to your story, Susan, today about your dog or whatever it is, which is you know what I mean, and it's and I also I guess I feel empathy and I get it. Like companies, what they want to build a culture, they want people to talk
Yeah.
about their families and stuff. I 1000% get it because within the company I'm trying to build, I want to build a culture
Right.
where you could be we're like the mob, the mafia, we're a family. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
we have that. I want to build that. So it's I definitely understand it, but it's hard when you have a company, you work in a company, let's say a company has 300,000 people in there. That's 300,000 people of different cultures, different
Mm.
idea sets, ideologies, mindsets. Like
Yeah.
it's going to be real tough to appease everybody. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I just know I'm hired to do a job and I just want to
Mhm.
do that job well. And then like
Yeah.
I'm not really I can be a nice person in the office, but I'm really not here to like be in the office. I'm here to just provide the best work
Yeah.
for what I'm getting paid for. So that's really what I try to just lean back on and focus on. We're all here to do a job. We're not here to talk about our Saturdays. We can, you know what I mean? That's cool, but like we're here to work at the end of the
Yeah.
day. So
No, I like how you put that for sure. I feel like you said earlier, it's a balance. If whereas before I might have been more inclined to go out of my way to talk to people or just to try to seem more personable. Um,
mm-hmm,
I'm going to let my natural personality show. If I'm not in the
mm-hmm,
mood that day, if I don't feel like having a full blown conversation about this thing right now, I might be a little more cordial with it, but I'm gonna just get back to work. I'm gonna let it be known,
yeah,
like, yeah, I'm not really whatever. So I
yeah,
think like you said before, it definitely comes down to having a balance for
yeah.
how you want to carry yourself and interact with people in the workplace. I think that's very important. But
Yeah,
shit, now you got
yeah,
me
because
wanting
I do.
to.
I always, I feel like I always want to. I'm about to cut off your wisdom there, but I
Yeah.
always want to, uh, I guess, to just market myself as someone being open and approachable because I would want someone to approach me if they had a good idea, if they had a
Hmm.
problem or something. So at the end of the day, I kind of want to do that for really for people like my family, my friends, even my
Right.
coworkers. I want to be that person that hey, I'm open to listen to whatever it is.
For sure.
Just don't take advantage of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that last part is
yeah,
everything. Yeah,
yeah,
like we could talk about it, but don't get too comfortable. Don't start coming over
yeah,
here saying certain stuff that don't do that.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
I think that's a good way of putting it. You definitely gotta find that balance. Um,
yeah.
all right, so let me see. All right, cool. So going off of that a little bit, what adversity or obstacles have you had to overcome? So you mentioned like switching from computer science and everything. I don't know if you
Yeah.
want to expand on that or get into some other stuff, but like, what obstacles have you had to overcome?
Um, That's one of the biggest ones for sure. Because that me switching at that point in time, like I was like on like financial aid probation. I was like on academic like
Mm,
suspension. So like I'm over here begging the dean to let me back
yeah,
into school. Like, hey, I was just on the wrong path in the beginning. Dean, please, like if I go here, I can show you like how I can like do amazing. You know what I mean? Like I'm on that
yeah,
part in my this is like my sophomore year, and like the biggest like pivotal point. I'm like saying, hey, yeah, okay, well, I took these classes. I did good in these ones, but these ones, this is why I did bad, and like let me get in. So ultimately, I get the dean to let me back. They let me back in Texas State. I'm able to like go and to the CIS department and kind of start taking these classes, getting more involved in like the entrepreneur the whole entrepreneur like workshops and things like that.
mm-hmm.
We did something called 3 day startup. It was like a little workshop program that they go from like university to university, and they pretty much in a weekend. They get like a group of people, and you guys pretty much try to start a company like in a
Oh
weekend, or
wow.
take an idea from like ideation to try to do the minimum viable product. So some people are a little bit more successful than others. So like
Mm-hmm.
being involved in that really was I guess good to build my passion for entrepreneurship, and then also just like my network. I can kind of saw people that were actually building successful little startups and
Yeah.
selling them at an early stage, or raising money and things like that. So I kind of saw the whole
Mm-hmm.
landscape of startups and things early.
Nah, that's what's up. So the obstacle of um like that's kind of crazy to be, at that point in your young career, sophomore, and having to vouch for yourself. Like, I know that if I get this next opportunity, I'll be able to succeed at it. It's
Yeah.
very risky, you know what I'm saying? Like, to kind of put all your eggs in that basket of, is I got to do the switch. I know that I can make this happen, because imagine if you did the switch and it didn't work out that way. If you did the
Yeah.
switch and then you didn't like it, or your grades went down even more. But again, I think it speaks to character, your character specifically, the fact that you are
Hmm.
willing to go vouch for yourself in that scenario. I think that's, like I said, commendable for sure. Um,
Appreciate it.
for sure. So overcoming that obstacle, um, do you feel like, now obviously in hindsight, we would say, you could have went and you would have had a different major or whatever, but do you feel like those obstacles help steer you in a certain way or help change your mindset to get you to where you are now?
Yeah, I feel like those obstacles definitely helped me kind of have that um, relentless mindset, and also
Mm-hmm.
just a deterministic mindset. Like it's literally like you have to just keep going and like hitting
Yeah,
the wall, keep hitting the wall. Then as soon as you
yeah,
hit that last hit, you're gonna break through. Like it's always
mm-hmm.
like you just have to keep going. So that just doubled down on my mindset of like, honestly, you just got to keep going. Some things aren't
Yeah.
for you. You might think it is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you're just so in the thick of it, so you can't really see it. So maybe you
Right.
have to take a big pivot. But then I see when I get those moments of like grace and mercy, I see God's just giving me a little bit of grace. I'm like, okay, this is your second chance, bro. Like
Yeah.
you can't mess up now. Like this is your second
Mm-hmm.
chance. So really, like you said, understanding yourself, understanding the world around you, and knowing when you're getting a second chance and when you're getting
Right.
grace, and like when people are having to vouch for you. Because I had to like get a letter from like this one teacher, Dr. Menifee. I had to like get her to like vouch for me. You know what I mean? To
Mm.
get back into school. Like it's like not just me. It's like other people that are having to vouch for me now.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot, but it did help me on trying to build that relentless mindset, that
Mm-hmm.
persistence, like keep going all the way, which I think is kind of the entrepreneur mindset, which I'm ultimately
Yeah.
the end goal, like keep going, persistence and persistence.
Yeah. I love that. That word relentless right there is perfect, because having that mindset is everything. Whether anything, but in tech, stuff not always going to work how you think it's going to work. But having that determination, like you said, persistence, it's just
Hmm.
Yeah, it makes or breaks you. I would say like that's the difference between you quitting school, literally saying, you know what, fuck it, this not for me. My grades aren't
Mm,
good. I'm not doing all this. I'm not getting this letter from this teacher. I'm not going to the dean. I'm not doing all that. You could have easily pivoted out of that and went somewhere else. But the mindset of like, you know what, all right, this not for me, but I'm relentless in the way that I'm going to succeed in one way or another. So yeah, that's why I love doing this shit, bro. You really just see like so many different ways of thinking and like this, not just different ways, but like the similarities and like I'm the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like
mm,
if this thing not working, I'm either, I might try a little more, but I'm going to find a way
mm.
to succeed in one way or another. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Um, all right, cool. So you have been, you finished school, you got plenty of years of experience, more years of experience than you've been out of school. You have your
Mm.
business, blooming. You have your professional career. You have good, 8 years in there. So where do you see yourself going from here? Like 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, and then after that, I want to get into what does retirement look like for you because somebody with that mindset, it's not like you're just going to sit still. So I got to see like where you see that going.
Yeah, yeah, great, all great questions.
Thank you.
Yeah, 5 years from now, man. Like, honestly, I feel like I got to be millionaire status 5 years from
Mhm.
now.
I
I
feel
probably
that.
have a wife and kids for sure.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely, seven figures business. Like, I feel like my business at that point needs to be at a seven figure number at that
Mhm.
point. Um, what else in 5 years? Uh, Probably dabbling more in real estate. I
Mhm.
love the stock market, so I'm
Mhm.
definitely going to be in the stock market. That's another. I should have mentioned that hobby of mine outside of tech. Like, I love
Mhm.
collecting stocks, so
Oh,
yeah, I'm
cool.
definitely into that. And then I guess what 10 years was the next horizon.
Yeah, 10 years.
Within 10 years, I see myself doing more kind of like philanthropy work, kind of more of the
Mm.
innovation and kind of the emerging nations, kind of
Yeah.
the work that I really want to do. I feel like that they say, oh, you can work for free. What would you do? Yeah, I still would work in tech and I still would just work on implementing tech, but it's going to be more
Mhm.
implementing like tech solutions for maybe villages that don't have like lights or schools that don't have like technology curriculums.
And
Implementing those technology curriculums there or implementing them with this technology. So that's kind of like 10-year horizon, doing more stuff with agriculture tech. I told you, like in Nigeria,
yeah.
I kind of want to focus on like farmland and things like that over there. So moving
Mhm.
more into like agricultural innovation in tech over there. I kind of see that's kind of the 10-year path for me.
Yeah.
And then what was the last one? Retirement
No,
or
no. First, like 20 plus years, and then we could get into retirement.
oh yeah,
So
20
20 years
20
will
plus
put you
years.
like over 50. So
Yeah, I'm definitely probably retired at that point. Like, I feel like my retirement is like it's like the you have enough more than year what they call it, you have more than enough. Or what do they
Mhm.
actually call it? They call it you have your FU money. So I already
All
have my FU money
right.
saved up by then. So if I'm working, like I'm definitely like just like consulting with somebody
Yeah.
still because we built something for you. But I probably would just try to do most of my work outside of just within my business. So if you want to hire me, you can just hire me through my business ultimately,
Mhm.
whether it be for like cybersecurity work or development work or just regular technology consulting. I would want to do it there. I'm probably just living off of dividends at that point. 20, we're talking about 20 plus
20
years. Like
years. Yeah.
I probably, yeah, I'm probably living off retirement or off real estate investments or something. So
Mhm.
that's definitely like the dream of my 50 plus for sure. Have
Mhm.
my kids should be grown. Hopefully, just two kids. I don't want too many. They get expensive. So
For sure. No, I love that. I love hearing those. I probably say this so much, but like those big dreams, but they're doable. You know what I'm saying? I can see you doing all of
oh
that
yeah.
stuff just based off of this this conversation we've been having. I could definitely see you doing everything that you just said. Um, So as far as the business goes, do you see yourself um, having more delegating work, or are you still gonna be like super hands on with everything that you're doing?
Gotcha. No, definitely more delegating work, like, and that's kind of what we're focusing on now, really. Because when we started, it's literally just me doing the work. You know what I mean? So it was work, and like I was doing it, but now it's more so of we kind of have our UI UX designer. We have like a pizza
Mm,
pod of like some developers. So really, we're building like team building. We're building
yeah,
systems to build to scale. So that's really like the focus now. Like we want to be more so doing the strategic stuff, marketing the business, and then kind of like getting funding for the business. Like that's kind
right,
of what we want to focus our energy on now.
right. Damn, I love that. So we gonna check back. We gonna see how everything is going. And it's
Facts.
crazy that I have somebody else I want to link you with too. He's out in the UK. His name is Felix, but we did his interview, and he was talking about how he wants to go to certain parts of Africa, countries in Africa, and do basically similar thing to what you're saying. So yeah, I got a couple of people I need to connect you with after
Yeah, yeah.
this.
You can connect me because I'm already connected with this group that does things like that.
Mhm.
Actually, it's actually an organization, IEEE. I don't know if you heard of that organization before. It's like
No,
an engineer
no, I don't think so.
organization, nonprofit. But they have a program within there called like Smart Village. So they go
Mm,
into like different countries, whether it be countries in Africa, countries in India, South America, just areas that are like I guess in need of technology, and they'll put like solar systems there. They'll
mhm.
roll out like hold on, what else things do they roll out? They'll roll out like maybe let's say someone somewhere hit like a disaster that has like no power. They'll roll out this truck that has like Wi-Fi on it, has like
Oh
a
wow.
bunch of batteries on it. So and also I think they have like this deployable like Wi-Fi network too. That was like a built off of like LoRaWAN. So it was like a network that could send like data. You weren't sending like pictures and videos over it, but you
Mhm.
could kind of send like smaller packets of data, like text,
Right,
maybe text or small
right.
voice stuff, maybe with small lags and things like that. But they're able to kind of deploy those solutions out to kind of
Mm.
rural environments and things like that.
So I'm definitely interested in hearing more about that too. That would be cool. Any way I can expand my network, I'm always open to that for sure. So
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
outside of this, I'm definitely going. Well, I mean, we're going to keep in touch regardless, but I definitely want to hear more about that for sure. Um, all right, so where we at with it? All right. So I've been combining these last two things. I feel like you're going to have some great tips for people. But
Mhm.
the last two questions basically is what tips do you have for somebody that's either, on a similar journey or thinking about getting into tech or anything like that, and then or entrepreneurship, and then
Gotcha.
just kind of like your final words, anything you want to plug or anything like that.
Gotcha. Well, I guess really some tips on people of getting into, excuse me, getting into tech. The easiest way to get in tech today, I still think it's through Salesforce. Like it's they make it super easy. All
Mhm.
their you go through the learning, everything's like a cartoon. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
their marketing thing, like their avatars and things, they're all like kind of like cartoons. They make it very easy to digest. I feel like their
yeah,
content is very it's free. So most people like I'm telling you are paying for like overpriced boot camps. They're probably paying for some kind of something that maybe that costs so much you try to get into tech and maybe that's not what you wanted to do, or maybe it's kind
right,
of too hard
right,
for you, or I feel like Salesforce, they give you a place that, hey, you could be an architect, you can be a developer, you can be a system administrator, you can be a data person, you
mm,
can be a business analyst, you can be so many different things within Salesforce, and that's just kind of one enterprise platform. You mentioned Oracle. Oracle has like NetSuite and other like
hmm,
platforms that you can kind of just learn these enterprise applications. There's another one, SAP. That's one that comes to my head, like a business system that most of these Fortune 500 companies are using to manage their orders. Like if you look at most companies, like they probably have all their revenue coming through like SAP. Like SAP
hmm,
might be the system that's like invoicing all their clients. Like that's a mission critical system for a company
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
versus me learning to go, okay, I need to go learn how to be no disrespect to a Python developer or something like that, or a JavaScript developer. Those are two amazing programming languages that I needed, but those are like just programming language. SAP is something that's actually billing
Yeah.
millions of dollars day after day, are tracking millions of dollars of inventory for this business. So those are mission critical business systems that I feel like people need to learn more about. Their cloud systems. So just like within like your AWS or your Microsoft Azure,
Yeah.
those cloud systems, those are another type of cloud systems as well. Level of difficulty learning those are easy, not easy, but are doable. But
Yeah.
Salesforce, I would just say it's a different kind of system, cloud system that is a lot easier to learn than compared to an AWS or a Microsoft Azure
Hmm.
or a IBM Cloud or some one of those cloud systems that you're creating a server, managing the server, deploying an application to it, or whatever
Yeah.
it is. Salesforce, you could build these things called apps on Salesforce that are nothing but like these tabs that do the business function.
Hmm.
Ultimately, which what you would do with like a custom application and deploy it to an Azure or an AWS or kind of whatever
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
Um, so I would say that tips to get into tech. Uh, do free things first. Don't pay for expensive things first. So always do whatever's
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
And then tips to get into entrepreneurship: find your passion and then see how
Mm.
people are monetizing it, because now you just be surprised the way people monetize other people's attention on the internet now.
Yo, for
So
real.
I don't care what it is. If it's just you think, oh, I just want to be I want to sell, I don't know, a mug or a t-shirt, you know what I mean? Like you can make $1 million selling a
Oh.
t-shirt. Like you just have to figure out how to monetize it on the internet, and
Hmm.
there's millions and millions of ways. Mr. Beats is coming up with a new way every day on how to
Right.
monetize things. So like just get your audience, know your target audience, and then monetize. Figure out these
Yeah.
different little ways to monetize, and then be relentless, be determined. If you're going to
Mm.
be an entrepreneur, like learn the word no, because people are going to tell you no
Mm.
after and after, and then people say no. That's fine. Like go find your yes. Like you'll find a
Yeah.
yes. Trust me, you'll find a yes. Um, what else is there? I guess things that I would want to drop, of course, if you're looking for like technical help with the website or a mobile app, or you want like a SaaS product, like visit apper.com. We can
Hmm.
kind of help you out, like with some technical consulting. We can help you build it. If we can't help you build it, we can refer you to someone that can help you build it, that's trusted. Because sometimes it's just hard in this industry to find uh, trusted help. People might
Yeah.
overcharge you just because you don't have the expertise in whatever it is. You might deal with people that might try to overcharge you, or
Hmm.
not sell you what you need. Like you may say you want a mobile app. I want a mobile app. I want a mobile app. But someone will sell you a mobile app, but maybe your business doesn't even need a mobile app. Maybe
Right.
like how are you gonna get people to download that mobile app? What's the strategy behind that mobile app? Do you know that if you have an iOS app, Apple's taking 30% of whatever you're charging
Hmm.
someone in that mobile app? Like, do you know that if you just made a website, you set up your e-commerce shop on your website, like you don't have to deal with you don't have to deal with Apple publishing the app, taking their 6 weeks to approve the app, and then now they get
Hmm.
30% of every sale, versus you build a website, or build like a nice mobile website, so people are going to
Hmm.
interact with your website on the mobile web anyways, and then you're just dealing with your Stripe fee, your 2.5% of that transaction or whatever it is at that point. So you keep it more of your money. So that's just something to know, that sometimes people think they need technology, but they don't need that
Hmm.
exact technology. They need something a little bit else. So, um, That's something to add as well. In Black Tech We Trust, that's kind of our brand as well. Visit inblacktechwetrust.com if you want to kind of break into tech, if you want some merch as well. I got to get your address, man, so I can send you out some free
Oh, for
merch for
sure.
sure.
Yeah, I
Yes,
need some.
yeah. I got to send you out some free merch. We're going to have like I think an MLK drop where we actually got some hoodies now. So stay
Oh yeah, I
tuned for
need a
that.
hoodie. Yeah, I need a hoodie.
Yeah. What else we got? Also on our website, apper.com/small business Saturdays. We have like a raffle monthly that we give out free websites to like small businesses
Mm.
or solopreneurs, people that maybe have
Wow.
like a brand that are trying to get out. And there's some guidelines on there. You can look at the website. You can see what we offer, but we do try to get like a free website for people. We just think more
Damn.
people in the Black community, in the underserved communities, people that struggle from the digital divide, people that just don't know how to get online, like they need
Damn.
websites because your website is your 24/7 like business. People can just go there, learn
Damn.
about your business, buy from you still. Like I personally, if you don't have a website, it's hard for me to even take you seriously, honestly. Like I be like, you trying to sell me something, and I'm like, I'm gonna look it up first. I'm more so
Yeah.
like I'm gonna go to Google and like look up like let's say let's just talk about a restaurant here in Houston, Lost and Found. I don't know if you've been to Houston, but it's like a big
No.
restaurant in Houston, Lost and Found. If someone told me about it, I would look it up and see if they had a website. And 9 times out of 10, they probably don't have a website. They just have like Instagram, social media, or
Yeah.
something, and then maybe they have like a link tree with, you know what I mean, some links to their menu. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're pretty much saying that I don't want my own customer data. I don't want to know who's coming to my business. I don't want to know who's searching my business. You know what I mean? But if you have
Yeah.
a website, even if you have social media, yeah, but the link in the bio should just go to your landing page so you can
Right.
monitor that traffic, so you can
Right.
profile your customers, you can get their email addresses, you can start marketing to them. So that's more stuff that I feel like we try to do, especially with the Small Business Saturday kind of effort. Is really more so to get these smaller businesses that don't have the resources to manage a website or even maybe the know-how to kind of
Hmm.
get one up. We kind of want to help them out.
Damn, that's what's up, yo. Sheesh. I'm gonna put all the links you said. I'll put them on the screen and everything. But
Facts. Yeah,
damn,
I'll send them out to you too.
that's that last thing is kind of crazy. Like I'm thinking about people right now that I know would benefit from that. So yeah, I can't wait to put
Yeah, for
this one
sure.
out. I
Yeah,
feel
for
like
sure, man.
you gave a lot of good gems, especially like the Salesforce part. Because like I said before, I never thought about that, but that is a very good
It's the
way.
easiest, man.
It's
Easiest way to make six figures in tech. Visit
mm,
Salesforce.com. Learn how to use Salesforce. Like easiest way. And
yeah,
and, and you probably don't even have to, because you know a lot of people in tech, they may like be technical, maybe like you and me, maybe building code or doing
hmm
business requirements, but like we haven't really talked about like tech sales. Like tech
right,
sales, like they make way more money because they're getting like commission maybe, and like
yeah,
if you're selling something like Salesforce.com, 9 times out of 10, that business is going to renew their
yeah,
licenses because their whole business is running on Salesforce.com. You know what I mean? So
hmm
they need that to keep running. So
yeah,
yeah, Salesforce, easiest way to get
yeah.
into tech.
I got a I got an interview coming up with somebody that's in tech sales, and he was telling me how it was years when he was making 250, 300K. So yeah, it's like I
they
said,
they
man.
making a killing.
So many lanes under this umbrella that you could get into. So I didn't even know you were into Salesforce, but I'm so glad you came here and you brought that up, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem, man.
we pretty much should. Do you got anything else?
Nah, man. Just wanted to appreciate you, man, for giving me the
Oh, for
time to
sure,
just
for
chat with
sure.
you on this platform, man. Looking forward to doing another one with you. Definitely
Mm,
Tony, he's down to do one with you. He was
mm,
just he's a little sick today, but he'll
yeah,
definitely be able to do one with you.
yeah, for sure. I'm so glad we got to connect. I genuinely appreciate like everyone I do, but like certain ones just hit a little more, and this is definitely one of those ones. I really appreciate you taking the time and everything. Like, and I could see us collaborating, not just like in an interview format, but like us collaborating in the future and everything for sure. So, Yeah,
Yes,
man, I
sir. Yes,
appreciate
sir.
this. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, sir, man. Maybe just DM me your address, man. I'll get one of these shirts shipped out to you ASAP, man.
yeah, yeah, I'm a DM you after this because I want to send you a couple profiles, and then
Yep.
yeah, I'm gonna send you the address for sure. But
Bet,
shit,
bet.
yeah, you said everything. I don't even think I got too much more to say, so I'm gonna just do a little sign off, and then we good. But yeah,
Alrighty.
it's been another episode of the My Tech Story interview series. Shout out to Adam for coming through, spitting, dropping some shit for y'all for sure. But yeah, that's it. Y'all be safe.
Thanks.
So if you asking me, Quis, how do you go so hard? I'ma hit you with a smile in my business card. I learn and give game cause I want the best for y'all. So if they claim I ain't the best, I just be like, oh, alright.